The Basilica di Santa Maria del Fiore is the main church of Florence, Italy, and is located in the Piazza del Duomo in Florence. The cathedral is the mother church of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Florence, whose archbishop is currently Giuseppe Bettori. Construction began in 1296 in the Gothic style to the design of Arnolfo di Cambio and completed structurally in 1436 with the dome engineered by Filippo Brunelleschi. The dimensions of the building are enormous, with the length of 502 feet, the width of 124 feet, and the width at the crossing of 295 feet. The height of the arches in the aisles are 75 feet. The height of the dome is 375 feet. The Cathedral of Florence was built as a big basilica, having a wide central nave of 4 square bays, with an aisle on either side. The chancel and transepts are of the identical polygonal plan, separated by 2 smaller polygonal chapels. The whole plan forms a Latin cross, which is common in Gothic cathedrals. The nave and aisles are separated by wide-pointed Gothic arches resting on composite piers. The concept of the dome first emerged during the Renaissance in the form of an architectural marvel that tops the Santa Maria del Fiore. The construction of the dome marks the beginning of the Renaissance architecture. The cathedral and its dome together represent early Renaissance style, one that blends old and new designs. In 1418, architect Filippo Brunelleschi received a commission to build the dome. He traveled to Rome with the sculptor Donatello to study architecture. There, the 2 artists investigated various Roman ruins to learn about the design and the proportion of buildings, as well as the construction of arches and columns. Although Brunelleschi never duplicated classical features, he borrowed ideas from the ancient ruins and incorporated them into the design of his dome. The exterior walls are faced in alternate vertical and horizontal bands of polychrome marble from Carrara, Prato, Siena, Lavenza, and a few other places. These marble bands had to repeat the already existing bands on the walls of the earlier adjacent baptistry, the Battistero di San Giovanni, and Giotto's bell tower. There are 2 lateral doors, the doors of the Canonici and the door of the Mandorla, with sculptures by Nanni di Banco, Donatello, and Jacopo della Garcia. The 6 lateral windows, notable for their delicate tracery and ornaments, are separated by pilasters. Only the 4 windows closest to the transept admit light. The other 2 are merely ornamental. The clerestory windows are round, a common feature in Italian Gothic. In the back of the middle of the 3 apses is the altar of Saint Zenobius, first bishop of Florence and also one of the patron saints of Florence. Its bronze shrine, a masterpiece of Ghiberti, contains the urn of his relics. The central compartment shows us one of his miracles, the reviving of a dead child. Above this shrine is the painting of the Last Supper by the lesser-known Giovanni Balducci, Giovanni Benelli, Filippo Brunelleschi, Giotto di Bondone, Pope Nicholas II, Pope Stephen IX, and John Hawkwood are also buried here. Halfway down the nave of the Papal Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi, one can descend into the crypt via a double stairway. This burial place of St. Francis was found in 1818. His remains had been hidden by Brother Elias to prevent the spread of his relics in medieval Europe. By order of Pope Pius IX, a crypt was built in the lower basilica. It was designed by Pascal Belli with precious marble in neoclassical style, but it was redesigned in bare stone in neo-Romanesque style by Ugo Tarci between 1925 and 1932. The ancient stone coffin with iron ties is enshrined in an open space above the altar. In 1934, his most faithful brothers were entombed in the corners of the wall around the altar. Brother Rufino, Brother Angelo, Brother Matteo, and Brother Leo. There are over 100 tombs within the St. Peter's Basilica. many located in the Vatican grotto beneath the Basilica. These include 91 popes, St. Ignatius of Antioch, Holy Roman Emperor Otto II, and the composer Giovanni Pierluigi da Palestrina. Exiled Catholic British royalty James Francis Edward Stuart and his two sons, Charles Edward Stuart and Henry Benedict Stuart, Charles Bishop of Frascati, are buried here, having been granted asylum by Pope Clement XI. Also buried here are Maria Clementina Sobieska, wife of James Francis Edward Stuart, Queen Christina of Sweden, who abdicated her throne in order to convert to Catholicism, and Countess Matilda of Tuscany, supporter of the papacy during the investiture controversy. The most recent interment was Pope John Paul II on April 8, 2005.